Hi guys, welcome to our second video for cell transport. Today we're going to focus on passive transport. Just like the last video, you are going to watch it, take notes over whatever you feel is important, whether it's on the slide or you hear me say it. You will pause and rewind as you need, and of course your notes are going to be checked the next school day when you're taking your interest quiz, so make sure you take good notes because you're able to use them. So let's start off with a question. Would you rather be in a really hot room for 12 hours or a really cold room for 12 hours? I'll let you think. Okay, enough thinking. So, whatever you decide, everybody has their own reasoning. But now I have a follow-up question. If you can move to another room where the temperature is balanced, would you leave the room that was really hot or really cold? Well, I'm not a psychic that everybody knows, but I'm pretty sure that you said, duh, Ms. Martinez, I would definitely leave the hot or cold room to go to a room that's the right temperature. Well, our cells are the exact same way. When they're in an environment that isn't balanced, they're going to move things or shift things around to where it will be balanced. Let's think about temperature, for instance. If it's too hot, they're going to say, hey, let's turn down the AC so they can become colder. And if it's too cold, they're going to say, let's turn it up so that it can become warmer. Well, our cell deals with things like not having enough water. So if we look right here, there's a lot of water outside the cell. But the water is going to begin to move. And as we can see the numbers, it's going to keep on moving until it can begin to reach equilibrium. And now that it's at equilibrium, as one water goes in, one will leave out, and it'll keep doing that because it's balanced. This is called cell transport, which is the unit we're on. Cell transport is the movement of molecules across the cell membrane. Well, what are they moving? They're moving anything that it needs. What are some things we need? We need carbon dioxide and oxygen. We need water. We need certain ions. We need glucose. We eat the food so we can get that nutrient. And we need all that to be in our cell or to leave our cell. So, how does it do it? Well, there are two types of cell transport. You have passive transport and active transport. Passive transport, as you can see, what is the lady doing? She's chilling, lounging, something I wish I could be doing right now, but I'm making this video for you. You're welcome. So, she's sitting here and she's lounging. She's not doing anything. Passive transport is very passive. She's not using any energy right now. And of course, another name for energy is ATP. So, if we look right here, these molecules are just going across the membrane. They don't need energy to cross it, they just cross it. Now, active transport, on the other hand, we see the dude right here hitting the dab, you know what I'm saying? As he's hitting the dab, of course that takes energy. So if we look right here at this diagram, we see that the molecules are moving, but it needs that energy to move it. So we'll talk more about active transport in the next video. Right now, we're going to learn more about passive. So, does passive transport use energy? No, it does not use ATP. What direction does the molecules move in passive transport? They move from an area of high concentration to low concentration or down the concentration gradient. Go ahead and practice that. So, passive transport moves from what? High concentration to low, which is down the concentration gradient. I love this video of this panda sliding down. So he goes from high to low or down the concentration gradient. What does that even mean? Let's look right here at this diagram. Let's say your cell, this is oxygen, and your cell really needs the oxygen because it has a low amount. The higher amount, the oxygen is going to get to move from the side that has a lot to the side that has little to make it balanced or reach equilibrium. So there are three types of passive transport. I would definitely write these down, and if you're real fancy, you're going to draw the picture, but you're going to label it, because if you notice, they all move different things. So there are three types: diffusion, osmosis, and facilitated diffusion. What makes facilitated diffusion different from the other two, because they're all passive, is that facilitated uses proteins. If you look right here, you can see this little purple structure. That's the transport protein. These don't have that there. We're going to go more into those a little bit later. Let's start with diffusion. So diffusion is the movement of small molecules from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration until it reaches equilibrium. The brackets, just so you know, FYI, it stands for concentration. This is a good way to abbreviate. But what type of molecules does diffusion move? Well, it moves very small, nonpolar molecules. Basically meaning because they're nonpolar, they can pass through the membrane because the membrane is what? Nonpolar. Look at y'all. Y'all probably said it. Y'all probably didn't, but hopefully you did. All right, so these molecules can just pass through the membrane, and you can see through the picture, whoop, just sliding on through. Do they need energy? Absolutely not. So it's diffusion. I like to think about it like air freshener. You blow it and it goes, spray it and it goes all the way to the side of the room. It diffuses from this higher part when you spray it at the door to the furthest part of the room. Like when y'all come from PE and y'all smell real bad. Yeah, I be spraying it. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is, didn't expect that. All right, is osmosis. So osmosis is the movement of water. Think of osmosis, oasis. Osmosis, oasis. Basically, it moves only water from a high concentration to a low concentration until it reaches equilibrium. Does it need energy? Absolutely not. We can see right here the water is just passing through the membrane. Only the water. The purple molecules aren't moving. The green aren't moving. Just the water. Yeah. And the third and final one is facilitated diffusion. The word facile means easy. So facilitated diffusion, certain molecules are just too large to pass through the membrane. So how does it cross it? How does it get to where it needs to get to? Well, it uses proteins. And again, it's moving it from a high concentration to a low concentration, but it has to use a protein. So look at this picture right here. The molecules they're bumping against the plasma membrane because they can't pass. So what they do, they go through this channel protein to get to the other side because there's a lot of concentration, a lot of amount of molecules here, but there's very little there. Some examples of things that need transport proteins will be glucose. Those molecules are way too large, but you need the glucose from the food you ate. You need it to get the energy for your cell. And if you don't get it, cells don't function. They don't function, you die. So we definitely need glucose to pass through those transport proteins. So remember when I told you there's cell membrane, we'll come back and talk about these proteins? Well, here they are. You have two types, channel protein and carrier protein. Channel protein is that tube or canal where the molecule can just slide through. So if you look right here when it comes again, this glucose molecule, it can't go through that channel protein, but it's going to bind to the carrier and be able to go through. And the ion can just slide through the channel. I like to think about it like somebody trying to slide in your DMs, right? Because your dad always tries to slide in mine. The channel protein is like, this person don't even follow you. They just in your profile pic and they like, I'm going to slide into his or her DM because they're looking real good, right? They just whoop, slide through. That's channel protein. But carrier protein is like, you ain't about to slide in my DM. I'm going to friend request you first, look through all your pictures and make sure if I want to bind with you. And then once I bind and see, oh, you all right, I'm going to go ahead and slide in those DMs. So those are the proteins. Crazy example, but hey. All right, so now I actually want you to write this question down on your notes, and I want you to answer it. How does transport proteins act like a gate? Again, how does transport proteins act like a gate? I may ask you this question on your interest quiz tomorrow. Well, we reached our final part, and I want to actually give you 3 questions as a quiz, and I want to see if you can answer it without looking at your notes. So here's the first question. What direction does passive transport move molecules? Second question. Does passive transport use ATP? And third, how does facilitated diffusion differ from diffusion? Hopefully you can answer those 3 questions on your own without looking at your notes. But besides that, you guys are done. Tomorrow you'll have an interest quiz over this material. Make sure you take good notes. Please go back and rewind anything that didn't make sense so that you can re-listen to it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.